Making a difference. It's at the heart of Southern Inspirations. I believe we all have opportunities every day to make a difference. In our homes, our local communities, everywhere we live, work, and play. Let's dive right into today's Making a Difference conversation. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Michelle Hill with Southern Inspirations, and joining me today is new Southern Inspirations Making a Difference partner, Karen Walker. Good afternoon, Karen.
Good afternoon, Michelle. How are you?
You know, I am doing wonderful on this Friday, and I am so excited for this moment in time and this announcement that we have today, as well as something wonderful that we're going to talk about with the topic of joy. So I'm just like, yay! So thank you so much for coming along Southern Inspirations in the effort of sharing good stories about good people doing good things. I am elated that you said yes and that you're trusting me with just your content and your business and your platform. And this is just a beautiful, beautiful relationship. And for those of you watching, this really is a big deal. And it's a big deal because Karen and I both, we know that this did not happen by mistake. And we have joined together for a calling, really. To continue to share good and for her to have a space to share what the Lord has gifted her with in terms of speaking into my life, into your life, bringing us a sense of joy and gosh, maybe some old things that we just need a refresher on, but hopefully a few new things too. So I'm just over the moon. This is the official announcement that you are a partner. And I want folks to get to know you, Karen. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. And then I want to dive into the good stuff that's the joy.
Well, thank you, Michelle. It is so good to be here, and it's exciting. I am Karen Walker. I am just a lover of life and all things joy, and I'm also a lover of Jesus. I am so glad to be able to have this space, to be able to have some real conversations about joy. Sometimes people can mistake it to think that, oh, it's just walking around just being happy and sunshine all the time. But it's so much deeper than that. And so I'm glad we're going to dive in today. For most of you, some of you may know me, but some of you may not. Let me just give you a little background. I was born right here in Conway, Arkansas, and I moved to Michigan with my family when I was 3. They took me with them. And so I grew up there, and I moved back to Conway in about, I don't know, maybe back in the 80s. And I've been here ever since. And so that's where I was born. And I am a wife and a mom. I have 3 lovely children. One's like 32, and I have 2 teenagers, an 18 and 16-year-old. So, that's what I am with my kids, but I love them, and I have the privilege of being their mom because really being a mom is a privilege because children are a gift. Even in those days when it's challenging and it's hard, they are still our little gifts. And then I have the most incredible husband, and he's just handpicked just for me. And we go together like a hand in glove. We're in this season of life where children are getting grown, and we're just rediscovering some of the things and reasons why we're together in the first place. So that's a sweet journey for me. But that's who I am, and I'm hoping over the broadcast for the next few months that you'll get to know me more. And I'm just authentic and real because that's the only way I know to be at this age and season of life. And it's given
Oh,
me.
gosh.
I know.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing sharing. I love that story, and I look forward to hearing more and walking this season of life with you.
Yeah.
You mother those teenagers as you enjoy this new season too with your husband. I'm an empty nester.
Ah.
Almost. My son is grown, and we had our first grandbaby. My daughter-in-law had. Let me be real clear on that. First grandbaby. Credit where credit is due. Back in December. My 21-year-old is living here with us. She finished college, her undergrad in 3 years. So she is back home for now. She's working, but we still consider ourselves to be nesters. It's just an absolute joy to have her here. And Karen, I know that every day is one day closer to the day when she really will leave the nest for good. And so I'm just enjoying every single moment that I can with her. Wow, good stuff. Well, y'all, Karen mentioned a little bit about the next several months, and we will certainly kind of circle back to this at the end of today's broadcast, but we want to share with you guys that a couple of things. You can expect to see Karen and I together once a month in this platform in terms of being together, talking about joy, maybe from different angles. It may be a little bit different each time. Karen is the expert on that, but the third Friday at 1:00 Central, you can count on us being together right here. But that's not where it ends. You will continue to see the Making a Difference stories throughout the month. Oftentimes, you might see me share something that Karen has posted on her own social media. You might see us have a guest with us. Karen may invite someone alongside. So as this unfolds, just know that we are partnering very purposely and very intentionally in this space to bring you content that is fulfilling and that brings you joy. And I literally can't say it nearly as well as Karen, because you are the joy strategist in this relationship. And I want to just be an open book and take it all in. So and we will dive right in. We've got some things that I know you want to share that I can pop up on the screen. And so with that, let's roll, Karen.
Well, one of the things I want to share with you, in addition to all the other stuff I told you, I am the owner of Karen Walker Speaks. And my Karen Walker Speaks business came about as a result of me wanting to have an intentional space that I can speak into the lives of people, especially women, of helping them to not feel stuck, to get a fresh perspective and build the life that they love. And so one reason I launched the business too is over the years, I've mentored women and discipled and done all these incredible things and have watched people just soar. And so launching my business was one of the ways I was fulfilling my own dream and building the life I love. So I want to share a quote with you, because this is sums up the whole reason that I do what I do. And it's by Stephen Covey, and I wrote it down because I didn't want to mess it up, but I use it very often. And it says, leadership is affirming people's worth and potential so clearly that they are inspired to see it in themselves. And that's my whole thing, is I hope our time together is going to help inspire you to see the potential that's in yourself and to do some things that you want to do. But right now, it's hard sometimes maybe to talk about joy because we're in a pandemic. You know, we have stuff going on around us that's hard, you know, and no matter what you're feeling, it's valid, because those are your feelings. And so what I'm hoping is that we can give some tips today to help you experience some joy, even in the midst of the pandemic. One thing I know for sure is that we're going to get through this, right? You remember back in the Great Depression and all those plagues and stuff that was going on before, out of it birthed the golden age. Remember, there was so much new music and just new arts and all kinds of beautiful things. So in the pandemic season that we're in, this is an opportunity, right, to do some of the things that's going to help you be ready to do even more things when we get through this very different time. We're definitely in uncharted waters. So, what do we want to talk about right now, Miss Michelle? How about
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now before we get going. I'm going to pop your website up
absolutely
and I want it to scroll across the bottom.
wonderful?
Let me get that ready. Oh, it's Karen Walker Speaks.
Mm-hmm.
Let me edit that. I want to get that right. I knew it the minute I popped it. Wait just a second now. We're going to talk about being authentic, and y'all, I'm real. If I mess up on you, I just say, hey, I messed up. KarenWalkerSpeaks.com.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can go to learn more about Karen beyond today.
Absolutely. And that's the place too that you can go sign up and take the 6-week Joy Challenge. You know, it's hard to go from 0 to 60, right? Real fast. So we just need those practical steps to get us to a different space. And so going on that website, you can sign up for the Joy Challenge. It's once a week where you'll get just a practical tip on what you can practice for the week. And I'm telling you, the more you practice it, the more you're going to find yourself having joy. And having joy is not just being giddy all the time, it's really in a place of peace and contentment where you can see what's going on around you and still be okay, right? And so, even in this pandemic, in my own life, I've had my challenges.
Uh-oh.
How do you thrive during this season that's turbulent? How do you thrive in life when life is spinning out of control? One of the ways you do that is, for one, show up as your authentic self. Being who you are and true to who you are enables you to bring your best self to this conversation, to a situation, to your family, your job. Your best self shows up when you're authentic. And there's so much energy spent, sometimes wasted, in trying to be people who we think we should be rather than enjoying who we are. So, one of the things you find out on my site is, what do you really like about yourself? Because sometimes it's hard to be our authentic self when we really don't know who we are. So take a moment and think about that. What do you like about yourself? And begin to rehearse those things and list them out. Being authentic is a way that's going to help move you from being kind of down and out and hard on yourself to being confident in who you are. And when you're more confident, you are more joyful. Another tip that I have for being more joyful is to really practice self-care and respecting yourself. During the pandemic, I know a lot of things have been closed or limited, but this is a great time to get out in nature for camping, to go for even just a walk around the block, explore your neighborhood. Who are your neighbors? Get a chance to walk through your block, go walking on the trails, get a chance to get on a bike. When was the last time you were able to get on a bike and just go riding? So working on yourself, positive self-care, taking time to be good to you, because being good to you is not selfish. Being good to you helps you to be even better to other people. So that's a thought. And I'm going to give you another thing. It's mindfulness. I can go on and on and on, but I'm just going to give you a few tips today. So practice being authentic you. Practice taking care of yourself, but also practice being mindfulness. And what I mean by that, mindfulness is being in the moment. A lot of things have gone on in our past, and we can't do anything about those things, right? Those days are gone. And sometimes we're so fretful for our future that we spend our now time worrying about the future and thinking on the past. And we're really cheating ourselves out of enjoying this amazing thing called life. So I want you to just think about today. How can you practice being in the moment? Even when, for instance, sometimes before I really settled down and became committed to living joyfully, I could be in a conversation, especially like I come home tired and your child is talking to you. You're physically there, right? You're looking at your job, but sometimes your mind is on 100 other things. So being mindful is being in that moment, not thinking about the grocery list, not thinking about all the chores you need to do, but really enjoying the moment in whatever you're doing, in whatever you're doing. Don't rush to get to the next season. Get joy in the season that you're in, but you have to choose it. And you can't just choose it, oh, I choose it this morning and maybe next week I'll be. You have to choose it over and over and over again. And the more you practice it, the more you're going to see it happen in your life. So, those I know are three tips I really wanted to give you. But the number one way that you cultivate joyfulness is being grateful, is having an attitude of gratitude, it's being thankful for the things that you have, the people in your life, the opportunities. Being thankful, when you have a thankful mindset, you become a more thankful person. So, what do I do to get going in the mornings? Because every day is not sunshine and roses, right? What I do in the morning, I have it here with me. It's just this tiny little planner, right? It's like tiny, right? But every morning, you see that? Before I get going, on this side, it tells me to list out three things I'm grateful for, right? And then in another column, it says list three things that you're excited about. That causes you to sit and think, who wants a blank sheet of paper, right? So you want to put something down, but you will be amazed at the things that you're grateful for and the things you can get excited about. So what I've done there is I've listed those things, and the next thing I write out is an affirmation for me before I start doing all of my things to do. Today I had to tell myself I am energized and productive, and I'm building the life I love because that's what I'm doing. And so, but once you say those things out loud, once you write those things out, it's amazing how the mind will help control even your attitude, your pep in your step. All of that is controlled up here. So joy is not an external thing. Joy comes from with the inside out. And when you're joyful, people delight to be around you. When you're joyful, people don't mind serving you and helping you. When you're joyful, you just can light up a room and make a hard situation easier just by being present in a joyful mood. So those are some of my tips for being joyful, because I know it's hard right now in the pandemic. Some of you have sent your kids back to school. Some of you are homeschooling, some are virtual, and some are attending school. And no matter which choice you made, all of those are hard choices, but you had the courage to make a decision. So as you send your kids to school, do those practical things. As they're at home, do practical things to help keep your family safe, but don't miss this opportunity to pour into your kids. Don't forget that learning is not just sitting with a book and with an instructor. Learning looks different in so many ways. You can learn by going on a walk together and talking. You can learn by engaging, by cooking in the kitchen together. Did you know reading recipes and things, that's still literacy? That's still learning. You can do some practical things at home with your kids while they're there and while you may have a little bit of extra time. So don't miss the moment, because the pandemic is going to pass, but in it, make choices that's going to set you up to be the best you when this thing is over.
Wow. As you were talking, I was identifying the number one thing that I need to work on is the being in the moment.
Mhm.
I'm so guilty, and I have that doer personality.
Mhm.
So my wheels are constantly turning about what's the next thing that I need
Mhm.
to do list. And oftentimes, I behave that way with those that are closest to me.
Mhm.
My husband and my daughter, who, are both in the house. And so that's one that I'm like, I know it. I know that I need to do a better job of that. But I guess I've never really thought about it from the perspective of joy.
Mhm.
I will take time. Not only is that showing respect and love for that person that is right in front of me,
Mhm.
but what it will do for me and my level of everyday joy. So I'm going to practice to do that. You're saying to practice because we are human and we do with so much going on, not just in the pandemic, but just in our everyday life, just everyday things that happen, work, school, life, death, illness, bills, on and on and on. We do have to get up each day and intentionally kind of pull up those bootstraps and start over and choose to be joyful, choose to see those things that we have to be grateful for and not get bogged down in the negative.
Yeah, and it's so easy to get bogged down in negative because when you speak negative in a negative way and you're around negative people, you in the brain, even when you study Caroline Leaf's research on the brain, that you're creating negative pathways and things up there. So you can literally rewire your brain. So focusing in on positive stuff, bring about positive results. Now, I wanted to just speak to a little bit of the women. Some of you are like me, that sometimes when you've been at home a whole lot and there's not a lot of social things, you're longing for some face-to-face time. So I want to just tell you a little bit about my Spark Retreat. The Spark Retreat, we did it last year. It was so amazing. I think there's a picture of some of the ladies.
Yes, there is. There we go.
See the tables and stuff. I mean, we intentionally prepared for them. So we have a Spark Retreat that's going to take place. Yes, we're going to do it face to face. We have totally pared it down to just a very, very small group of women. And it's going to be just a nice, intimate time. It's going to be here downtown Conway on the rooftop here of the building right there on the corner, the Totes corner. And here's the deal. How have we prepared for you? This is how we prepared for safety. You will not have 9 women at a table, the round tables. There will only be 3. I know some of you don't like to wear a mask, but mask is required unless you're eating. We usually have a really nice brunch, so we will have a fancy individual box for you with ribbon and everything on it, just for you for lunch because we want you safe. We will have a no contact entry. So that means when you come to the door, you don't have to touch anything. Someone's going to hold the door for you. And so if we have gone over and above what we can think to keep everybody safe, we will also keep the doors to the outside rooftop open at all times during the retreat, unless it's storming, but it shouldn't be. And that way, fresh air is constantly moving around. Our break and browse time will take place outside on the rooftop. So it should be a really nice day. So if you want some encouragement, some good fellowship and connection, and some great food, but even more so, even amazing giveaways, because we have some. Join us on September the 26th for the Spark Retreat. There's less than 10 spots open, right? So if you want to be a part, go to the website. We have amazing speakers. I'm speaking and sharing and giving away some things. We have Jennifer Henry that's going to join us also. We have great sponsors like Bledsoe Chiropractic and Silver Lake Design Studio. We have Edward Jones. I mean, just great sponsors, Restored Life Counseling. So I just want to shout out to them because, y'all, amazing things happen when women pull together and support one another. And so in this pandemic, if you need a big splash dose of joy, need it face to face, we have what we believe a safe place for that to happen on April the 26th. So I'm looking forward to just getting
September 26th.
Oh, September. It takes all of us, doesn't it? We originally had it in April. It's September the 26th. Thank you, Michelle. September. And it starts at 9 and ends at 1:30. So you still have plenty enough time to do what you need to do for the rest of your day.
There we go. And how do people can go to your website to sign up? Did you say?
You can go to the website, or you can go to Karen Walker Speaks website, Facebook page. Go to the Facebook page. Karen Walker Speaks Facebook page too. It's on there. The Eventbrite link is there. And so, like I said, I have less than 10 spots left because we have a really small group because we want women safe.
Yeah.
And that's what we have, Michelle. And that's one reason too, I'm so excited about this opportunity to just connect with you and to just share with people, because my life has not been sunshine and roses all the time. And so I'm telling you, choosing joy has been the best thing. Women, you want work-life balance. You want better relationships with your spouse, with other women. If you want better relationships with your children, you can choose to be joyful. I know later on I'll be offering, some more class time. I do power classes where you can come and learn conflict management, you can conflict resolution and time management, and just even some classes to help build our own self-worth and our self-esteem and our confidence. Because I'm telling you, it makes a major difference.
Absolutely. Gosh, good stuff. Thank you so much for those wonderful tips. Great reminders, like I said, for myself, and I know for others watching.
Yeah.
This is just a little bit of what's to come. You can expect just more dynamic content as mine and Karen's relationship flourishes and as she continues to join me once a month in this environment to share from her heart. And I know it's from her heart, and that's what makes it even more special. So, yay. I'm just thrilled that we're going to get a dose of Karen here for a while. All use some more joy in our lives. Even if we are joyful, we can always use some more. Can't get it. All right. Anything else before we close it out, Karen?
Nope. Just remember that a lot of things in this world you can't change, but you really can't control. You can't control, right? But you can control your attitude and who you are. And so I hope that all of you will begin to just make new choices. Even if you feel you're okay in the joy area, we can always grow. So do something new, do something fun, do something that brings you joy this week.
I love it. That's some wonderful advice as we go into the weekend and look forward to just beautiful things to come.
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I appreciate your support of Southern Inspirations as I continue to share good stories about good people doing good things. As I always ask at the end of every single broadcast, are you a nonprofit leader, or do you know a nonprofit leader who might want their organization's story to be shared on the Southern Inspirations platform and with the audience? Please let me know. Reach out to me. Email me, message me, text me, whatever. Let me know. I'd love to hear more about the nonprofit story. And I'm always looking for partners as well. Small businesses, entrepreneurs who might want to use this platform to get word out about their business. They may be doing, but at the same time, in a way that brings the better good for all of us. So everyone have a wonderful weekend. Be safe, be healthy, and we'll see you again soon.
See you soon.